our channel. Today we are going to start the spaces of your hand. So mainly we have three spaces: the palmar space, the dorsal space, and the forearm space of Parona. So in the palmar space, in turn you have the pulse space of fingers, mid palmar space, and thenar space. So now we are going to start with pulse space of fingers. So if you see this diagram, we can get the pulse space of finger. So for example, you can see this is my finger. So this is the nail bed, this is the dorsal surface, this is the palmar surface. So the same, especially if you look at the distal phalanx. So the distal phalanx is the main site where you have the pulse spaces around it, especially only on the palmar surface. On the dorsum you don't have the pulse space, only on the palmar surface you have around, especially the distal phalanx, you have this pulse spaces. So if you see at this pulse space, this is called as the palmar space, which is a pulp space of fingers. So the pulp space of fingers is present especially in tips of fingers and also thumb. They mainly contain subcutaneous fat. Actually they contain the subcutaneous fat and they are arranged in tight compartments and formed by fibrous septa. You can see the fibrous septa are in between them and dividing the pulp spaces, right? So which pass from skin to periosteum of the terminal phalanx. You can see this is the skin, from the skin to the periosteum. Of course you know for any bone there will be outer covering periosteum. So from the skin to the periosteum of the bone there comes a fibrous septa which are dividing the pulp space. Okay, especially it is seen in the terminal phalanx, that is nothing but a distal phalanx. So infection of this space is called Whitlow, and the rising tension in the space, because as this there is already infection, so the fluid or pus may get filled in this, and because of that there will be tension on this digital, you can see, artery. So the digital artery supplies it. So because of pus or infection, this digital artery will get occluded. So whenever this digital artery will get occluded, then there will be some pain, throbbing, severe pain, and this infection is known as Whitlow. If there is any infection, that is called Whitlow, and the rising tension in space give rise to severe throbbing pain. So there will be severe throbbing pain, and also there will be necrosis when this part of digital artery is occluded. Okay, so we also know this infection space in pulse space Whitlow can be drained by lateral incision. So usually we do lateral incision. For example, this is my hand. So lateral means this side. If you do lateral incision and if you remove the fluid, it would be very easy than the middle incision, because if you do middle incision the tactile sensation of your finger may be lost. So to prevent that, always surgeons do lateral incision, because the lateral incision only you have this pulp spaces, so any fluid in that can easily ooze out, especially by lateral incision in the pulp space. So these are the pulp space of your fingers, and mainly we open the lateral compartments and avoid damage to tactile tissue in front of finger. So if neglected, a Whitlow may also lead to necrosis of distal 4/5 of terminal phalanx. Actually, this is the distal 4/5 of the terminal phalanx, and this last one is the proximal 1/5. So you can see till this dotted line, it's 4/5 of distal phalanx, and this is the 1/5. Okay, this is the distal 4/5, this is the proximal 1/5. Okay, so actually if this Whitlow is neglected, then the necrosis will be mainly seen in the distal 4/5 part, okay, of the terminal phalanx due to occlusion of vessels by tension. So proximal 1/5 epiphysis escape because its artery doesn't transverse the fibrous septa. If you see, it is having like a separate artery which is not transferring the fibrous septa, so this part will be escaped, but this distal 4/5 will be affected by necrosis if there is neglection of this Whitlow or the pulp space infection. So by this we completed the pulp space. So this is very simple one. Next we will start with the mid palmar space and the thenar space, which are also palmar spaces. Now let us start our discussion on the mid palmar space and the thenar space. So coming to the mid palmar space, if you see, its shape is triangular, and it's under the inner half of hollow of palm. So this is a hollow of palm, right? So if you see the location in palm, exactly below this, here will be the mid palmar space. Okay, so actually this diagram is, if I cut my hand from this side and I'm seeing from the front, then that is this part. Okay, So it will be just below the hollow in the middle of your palm. There you will see the mid palmar space. It's a triangular area, and proximally it is having a distal margin of flexor retinaculum. You can see here will be the flexor retinaculum proximally, and distal you can see the distal palmar crease. So actually it is starting from the, in my hand I'll show, it is starting from the distal part of, distal margin of flexor retinaculum. From here, distal margin of flexor retinaculum to distal crease. This is called as distal crease. So till here it extends. So this one is a mid palmar space. Okay. So from the proximally from the distal margin of flexor retinaculum distally to the distal palmar crease. Okay. And next, communications. Proximally it has a forearm space, and distally it has facial sheets of especially third and fourth lumbricals. So you can see the third and fourth lumbricals distally, and boundaries are anteriorly you will have the flexor tendons of 3, 4th and 5th fingers anteriorly, and 2, 3 and 4 lumbricals, and also you will have the palmar epineuritis. You can see this is the mid palmar space. Anteriorly you can observe the palmar epineuritis, right, and also you can observe the fingers, especially you can observe the flexor tendons of third and fourth, fifth fingers. Third, fourth, fifth, nothing but middle finger, ring finger and little finger. So you can see mainly you can see the tendons of flexor digitorum profundus and flexor digitorum superficialis tendons of middle ring, little fingers, which are nothing but anterior to the mid palmar space. So anterior to the mid palmar space you will find this tendons and also palmar epineuritis. Okay, and posteriorly you will see the fascia which is covering interossei and metacarpals. So mainly the fascia which is covering 2, 3 and 4 interossei and also covering 3 and 4, 5 metacarpals. You can see these are the cut metacarpals bones. And laterally you will see the intermediate palmar septum. So laterally you will see intermediate palmar septum. It's between two palmar septums, and this is a medial palmar septum and this is a lateral palmar septum. This is thenar eminence, lateral side, hypothenar eminence on medial side, little finger side, this is thumb side, right, and this is a intermediate palmar septum between this two. So laterally you have mainly intermediate palmar septum to the mid palmar space, and medially you of course will have the medial palmar septum. Okay, and drainage, the incision, if any infection in this mid palmar space, any pus filling here, then how you do incision? The incision is either done in third or fourth web space. So you do the incision third or fourth web space to remove this fluid. So next we will talk about the thenar space. Of course thenar space is near to the thenar muscle. So thenar space is also triangular. Okay, thenar space is also triangular, and it's mainly under the outer half of hollow palm, and distal margin of its extent from where it is coming. You can see my hand and I stand. It's better to see this hand. So its extent is mainly from the distal margin of flexor retinaculum from here. Okay, distal margin of flexor retinaculum to the proximal transverse crease. This is the proximal transverse crease. Okay, so actually if you remember about mid palmar space, it is from the distal part of flexor retinaculum to distal crease, distal palmar crease, but this one is from distal part of flexor retinaculum to the proximal crease only, proximal crease of your palm. So that is the extent of your thenar space. Okay, and it's having proximally of course the forearm space, its communication with proximally with the forearm space, and distally with the facial sheet of the first lumbrical. So it is having distally with first lumbrical, whereas the our mid palmar space has distally with facial sheets of third and fourth lumbricals, right? So the boundaries are anteriorly it has mainly the short muscles of thumb, because thumb muscles, right, short muscles of thumb, flexor tendons of index finger, first lumbrical, palmar epineuritis will be anteriorly placed, and posteriorly it has transverse head of adductor pollicis. You can see here the adductor pollicis posterior to the thenar space. Okay, and also you will find laterally the tendon of flexor pollicis longus with radial bursa. So laterally you have tendon of, laterally means this is laterally this side. Okay, laterally you will have mainly the tendon of flexor pollicis longus with radial bursa, and also you will have the lateral palmar septum. Okay, you can see here the lateral palmar septum which is present laterally to it. Next, coming to the medial side, medial of course you will have the intermediate palmar septum here. So So what is the drainage? Incision is in the first web posteriorly. So incision should be done in the case of thenar space for the first web, whereas in the case of mid palmar space, incision should be done for the third and fourth fingers. Hence you can see it is written flexor digitorum profundus and flexor digitorum superficialis tendons for mainly index finger, right? So that is nothing but incision is done in the first web posteriorly. So this is all about palmar spaces. In palmar spaces, in this video we mainly discuss about the pulp space of finger. If you remember this diagram, we discuss about pulp space of finger, and now we discuss about the mid palmar space and also the thenar space. So next we will discuss about the dorsal spaces. So if you see the dorsal spaces, it's written already clearly here, the dorsal subaponeurotic space. So the dorsal space is nothing but in turn divided into dorsal subcutaneous and dorsal aponeurotic space. So dorsal subcutaneous space lies immediately deep to loose skin of dorsum of hand, and the dorsal subtendinous space lies between metacarpal bones. You can see these are the metacarpal bones. In between the metacarpal bones and the extensor tendons, which are united to one another by thin aponeurosis. So infections here, sometimes infections may also be here in this dorsal spaces. So this is about the dorsal spaces, and next we'll discuss about the final one, that is the forearm space of Parona. So this is the space of Parona, or also called as a forearm space of Parona, because it's in the forearm, right? So this is a space which is triangular and situated deep in the lower part of forearm, just above the wrist. You see, just above the wrist it can be seen, and it lies in front of pronator quadratus. Of course here will be the pronator quadratus. So in front of pronator quadratus and deep to long flexor tendons. So superiorly the space extends up to the oblique origin of flexor digitorum superficialis. So up to the flexor digitorum superficialis origin it extends, and that is this side. Okay, this side it extends up to flexor digitorum superficialis origin. Okay, and the especially oblique origin of flexor digitorum superficialis, and inferiorly it extends up to the flexor retinaculum and communicates with mid palmar space. It's communicating with the mid palmar space. The proximal part of flexor synovial sheet protrude into the forearm space, and the forearm space may be infected through infections in related synovial sheets, especially of ulnar bursa. So especially of ulnar bursa means this side. If any ulnar bursa's infection, it may easily spread to space of Parona, and pus points at margins of the distal part of forearm where it may be drained. So here the pus parts may be drained. So incision to drain pus from space of Parona. So here also lateral incisions are done, but at the, you can see at the lower part or inferior part of space of Parona. So these are all the different spaces of our hand. Next we will discuss about synovial sheets.